Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU the Mighty Mix Spammer, and this is my list of top 5 games of 2012. Now, before we move on and begin, I do feel like I need to state that this is my very personal and highly subjective list of the games that I enjoyed playing the most in this year. The only requirement for any title to make it into this list is that it was released in 2012, and that's it. I do not even care how much time I spent with any game on this list, only how much fun I had while playing it. So now that we got this out of the way, we can proceed with our, or rather mine, list. Number 5. Lone Survivor. This game is a curious one, developed by a single guy with a really great aesthetic. It managed to grab my heart, and definitely it earned its position on my list of favorite games of 2012. Total Biscuit called this game a psychological experiment, and he had a good reason to do that, because that's exactly what this game is about. You play as a character that tries to survive in a post-apocalyptic city filled with monsters, with shortage of food and stuff like that, and you also try to keep sane throughout the game, because you do have multiple options on how you want to survive. Do you want to eat healthy or not? Do you want to kill everything that moves, or do you try to sneak your way around? What will you do about other survivors? And so many questions that you need to answer, and you need to play as your heart tells you to. Very interesting experience, rather crazy one as well. You might be warned about this one, but definitely something interesting to take a good look at. The gameplay itself is solid as well, the combat is interesting, and basically this game has very little flaws to it. I mean, the only complaints I can have about it is the fact that there isn't really a huge amount of replayability to it, and it really could be a little bit longer. That said, the ending was pretty interesting. It's not the kind of ending that is given to you on a plate. You do rather have to figure it out on your own. In a summary, this game is great, and I loved playing it. Number 4. FTL Faster Than Light. It is another indie title on my list. Spoilers, there's going to be more. And it is really quite a thing. I never expected this game to be so addicting, but it is. If you like sci-fi or Star Trek like I do, if you like micromanaging systems on a starship like I do, if you like explosions and space battles like I do, and if you like roguelike games like I do, then you're gonna love this game. Although I may have gone a little bit too far calling it a roguelike, because roguelikes tend to have a little bit more skill involved and a little bit less luck. This game is definitely very much so luck based, but we'll get to that. Basically what this game is all about, you play as a single spaceship that tries to get away from the rebels, deliver a message to your command, and then stand your ground against something very big in a very awesome battle with an amazing soundtrack. And that's the gameplay in a nutshell. You travel through galactic systems, fight other bodies or actually goodies that you just want to steal stuff from and stuff like that, empower your ship to try and survive the last final battle. Pretty amazing, much more addicting than it actually sounds, trust me on this one. The only problem I have with this game, as I mentioned already, is the fact that it is very random and extraordinarily luck based. I mean, seriously, you can make your run within the first 5 minutes by just getting an amazing item and then just steamrolling the entire game. Or you may be extraordinarily unlucky, and then no amount of skill is going to save you. Regardless, I did have my share amount of fun with this game, and even though after a while it might get a little bit repetitive, it definitely did earn in its place on my top 5 list of 2012. Number 3. PlanetSide 2, finally something that is not an indie title, quite the opposite in fact. This game is epic. By its definition, its title saying that size always matters, yes, this is definitely the case. Summarizing what this game is all about, this is a first-person shooter and also a massively multiplayer online game. which means that it is something that I should, by its very definition, hate, because I do not like first-person shooters or MMOs. However, it is always a question of scale, and if you have never seen PlanetSide 2 before, then you do not even know what kind of scale are we talking about. It is huge! Ginormous, giganticus, giganticus, which is a new word for saying that something is really big. Basically, you can get up to 2,000 players on a single map, and then the wonders happen. You just move around with your trusty sniper rifle, or you roll around in a tank, or, my personal favorite, fly out in a scythe, which belongs to the best emperor in the game, by the way, Vano Sovereignty for life. And it is just incredible, especially if you have hundreds, and I mean literally hundreds, people right next to you, storming a single location, all while cooperating with you in a single joint operation, which is great. This is the essence of this game. Those giant combined arms battles with it's just so amazing and incredible. The fact that you see all these explosions around you, fire, people going from point A to B, trying to destroy everything in the meantime, and those are all real people. It boggles my mind how amazing this can be at times. The situation is when you go into a scythe, fly off, and you are surrounded by 50 other scythes and 10 dropships, aka the Galaxy dropships, and just the sight of it, not even in a combat, is amazing. And when you finally get intercepted or reach your destination and start the assault, OMG, then the magic happens. This game also kinda requires you to play with other friends. You have to sign in an outfit to be able to experience this game to its fullest potential, and although it is not necessary, you can still enjoy it quite a bit when playing on your own, but it is really recommended. Trust me, I know what I'm saying. It is where this game really shines, and this is playing with a lot of other people, and by a lot I mean a lot. If you like epic explosions, if you like sci-fi, if you like just total awesomeness, this game is for you. Just one thing before we end. There are 3 factions in this game, right? One is New Conglomerate. They are nuts, don't join them. I mean, seriously, they whine about everything and they are really stupid people. There's the Terran Republic, the tyrants, really stupid guys that try to rule you for no reason whatsoever. I mean, why would they control me? I don't want them to control me. And then there is the Vano Sovereignty. Join them, they are awesome, yes! Space alien tech that is going to make us more powerful than anything else. Yeah, and right there, what you saw just moments ago, this is faction loyalty. You're gonna get it a lot in this game, which is yet another awesome component of it. Summarizing, this is almost a flawless addition to my top 5 list. It does really require a powerful machine and it does have some performance issues, but they are being resolved. All in all, a really outstanding title. Number 2. Endless Space. You might be very surprised that it actually is not my number 1 title. In fact, you should be, because I am surprised at this fact. This game is the bane of my life. It sucks up all of my free time and I love it for it. It is utterly amazing. And I mean it. Basically what this is a 4X title. It is a turn-based strategy game with some real-time elements to it. And it boggles my mind. I do not even need to explain to you. I have so many videos of Endless Space on my channel. If you need explanation on what this game is, then just go over one of the hundreds videocasts of this game I posted and you'll see it on your own. It is incredible how amazing an indie title can be, because it should be considered still an indie title, I believe. This is the first game made by this particular studio. Wow, there's just so much I could tell about this game that there's no reason to actually do so, which kind of sounds strange when you think about it, but that's actually the case because it would take ages to talk about all of the awesomeness that is Endless Space. The amazing, and I mean amazing soundtrack is the first thing. The other is the battle engine with its stunning visuals and great explosions, where it is way better than just no battles whatsoever in Civilization 5 or other games like this. And then there's the strategy aspect, the colonizing planets, trying to think how you wanna play, because there are many, and I mean many ways to play your way to victory. You can create your custom factions, you can play in multiplayer, sign alliances, then backstab your friends, which is my favorite part. You can struggle against pirates, discover wonders, exploit, expand. What was the other thingy? And exterminate. I forgot the one X, whatever. This game is incredible, and I do mean it. You do have to give it a fair shot. The devs of this game are also utterly amazing. They keep updating it with free stuff, and there's loads of free patches, balance updates that everybody expects, but also there are free add-ons. We already had 3 of them: the Rise of the Automatons, Echoes of the Endless, and Polaris, which is the newest one. All of them are great, adding loads of new features to the game, improving the AI, adding a new custom faction, I mean not custom, official faction, adding wonders and such, more ambient, galactic, and it's just incredible how much meat is in this little package called Endless Space. This game is incredible, it's amazing. It shines the most when you play it with your friends, and maybe also against the AI, and it has a limitless potential, endless potential I shall say, and I'll defend this game to death. But because I do not want this video to be too long, I'm going to end right here by saying that, to be quite honest, there is almost nothing I can say that can be improved in this game. It is almost perfect as it is. And it is really very strange, even to myself, that it did not reach number 1 place on my top list. But there is one game in particular that somehow managed to beat this amazing piece of video gaming industry. Number 1, my favorite game of 2012 is going to be Analog: A Hate Story. And in fact, it is not just my favorite game of 2012, it is my favorite game of all times. And I believe this calls for a little story how I bought it in the first place. So one day I was browsing through Steam shop and I noticed this daily deal thingy. And you know how in this window there is always the artwork of a game title, and I realized that there are Korean characters. And because I'm always so happy about everything Korean, and I felt like I had to buy this game without even researching what it is all about. Best decision in my gaming life, 100% certain about this. So what is this game? Well, it is a very unconventional product and a very niche game that not everybody is going to enjoy. But if you do not mind reading, and I do mean a lot of reading, and if you like an epic story that is going to develop before your very eyes, if you like interesting flesh and bone characters, an epic soundtrack, then this is something for you. And there's one thing that Analog excels at, and it manages to achieve that no other game has ever achieved, at least in my honest opinion, and this is creating an emotional bond between you and the characters that are in this game. I know it might sound a little bit creepy, but while playing this game I actually was legitimately caring about the fate of AIs that I discovered within this game. It is quite a thing, I have to admit, and it is not just an interactive book either. There is a fair amount of decision making that you have to do that is going to shape the end of the game, and basically most of the decisions that you make have some kind of consequence. If I were to sum up this game, there is like 75% reading, 15% making decisions, and 5% typing pretty fast. Actually, that's 105%, but whatever, you know what I mean. All in all, an epic adventure, and at the end of other games, yes, I occasionally did shed a tear, because I'm a very emotional person, but this game made much more than that. When I finished it, I was crying for a long time as well. I couldn't get over it, that's how amazing it was. Even nowadays, I cry occasionally when listening to the game's soundtrack, because I just reenact all the scenes I saw while listening to the soundtrack, and it's quite incredible. I do definitely intend to get back into this game to discover what I didn't discover, and just because of this game is amazing. You can theoretically finish it within 15 minutes or so, but I assure you, you're gonna want to keep playing it to discover more and more to the story, because there's quite a lot to it. There is also an expansion to this game coming in 2013 that I'm definitely looking forward into. But for now, this game is absolutely amazing. I'm going to not only defend it to death, I just love it. As simple as that. It is the definition of what I want from my video games. It is a new benchmark that I created for my very self. And as such, it is my favorite game of 2012 out of all times. Now, what a crazy ride this was. This year was pretty great when it comes to video games, and it is kind of surprising because a lot of major AAA releases disappointed me quite a lot, while some of the indie games that I never knew are going to exist made me go like, wow, this is some crazy stuff that I love. And especially Analog. This year was great gaming wise, and I'm very happy for it. Thank you for watching my personal top 5 list of 2012. It was PANCZASU, the Mighty Mix Spammer. I hope you enjoyed my videocast, and I'll see you online.